in my experience, I've had a difficult time dating while doing my PhD. Pre-PhD didn't have a problem.
Oh,
pre-PhD, no, didn't have a problem.
Then what happened? They left because you were going to be a doctor.
You know, it was like you have studied further. Like, I don't see a point why you need to study beyond in masters. So I was like, okay.
That's an actual human being.
Yeah, actual human being said that to me. So I was like, okay, no, because we're having conflict of interest, I think you need to go.
Welcome back to hashtag Let's Talk Science, and now we're going into our next segment, hashtag Beyond Science, where we're going to find out what the good doc does in her spare time, what makes her tick, what makes her talk, how many oranges she eats a day or plums she eats a day. So here are tell me about your journaling.
Okay, so I record myself. It depends on what was happening on the day. If I feel like, okay, this it's something that I would like to remember maybe in my 40s or 50s, then I would just do a video on my phone and talk about the things that happened that really impacted me on that day, on a spiritual level, also on an emotional level. It's also a place where I would work out things that are troubling me. Like, if I am stuck in a particular with a particular let's say work that I need to do, then I would just use that as a brainstorming a session. So I would have that.
For real?
Yes.
And you record yourself on your phone?
Yes, I record myself on my phone.
It's like journaling.
Yes.
It's like Dear Diary.
Yes.
But it's to yourself.
I usually do it to someone, like it's as if I'm talking to someone else, but it's just basically me recording myself on my phone. And it's all because, I started journaling by writing it out, but I think, with the work and the time, I don't have time to just
technology involved.
So I just thought, let me just record myself.
It's almost like how Issa Rae on Insecure keeps herself in check.
Exactly.
Well.
And I actually got that idea from Beyonce, because she says that she would have sessions with herself late at night where everybody was asleep and she just needed to talk to somebody. Then she would just record herself on her laptop. So
with Beehive.
Yeah, Beehive.
Yes.
Yeah? Low key. Don't want to admit it out loud, but yes, honestly, I respect that woman. Her work ethic is impeccable.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It
No,
is,
I like
it
that.
is.
And you like her music?
I do like her music, but I'm old school, so R&B kind of music. But I do like to dance to the current
So you like Beyonce a lot more. Destiny's Child,
Beyonce,
Emotions,
reminding me of moments I'd never had before.
Okay, no, that's
I was pretty
lovely.
young then. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. I know with me as well that when you are a PhD student and you are female in South Africa also,
yes,
dating seems to be challenging, if I might say.
I like the word you said, challenging. It is, my dear friend.
Do you identify with that?
Yes, I do somewhat. I mean, it's different experiences for different people, right?
Yeah.
So in my experience, I've had a difficult time dating while doing my PhD. Pre-PhD didn't have a problem.
Oh,
pre-PhD, no, didn't have a problem.
Then what happened? They left because you were going to be a doctor.
It was like you have studied further. Like, I don't see a point why you need to study beyond in masters. So I was like, okay.
That's an actual human being.
Yeah, actual human being said that to me. So I was like, okay, no, because we're having conflict of interest, I think you need to go. But I'm going to do my PhD.
Why do you think that would be the case, where a person studying further could be a problem for someone else?
It might be threatening, depending on their level of education or themselves. Maybe they're insecure about something within themselves, so they feel like when you pursue further education, like doing a PhD, might be to them, you might find that, okay, now you are probably going to think that you're better than them, or you would find somebody who's better than them. I don't know what was going on inside that person's head, but I do know that, you know, there's some sort of insecurity.
Do you think as women we change the more we go into our postdoctoral studies, our PhD studies? Do you think maybe something changes in us in our characters? And
So I don't necessarily want to say every woman, because then again it's an individual thing. But I do believe that some people, you know, the more knowledge you gain, it opens your mind, it expands your perception or your view about life. So obviously the choices that you make before you study further, like do postgraduate education, may not necessarily be the same post that. I definitely know that I'm not, in my way of thinking, I'm not the same as I was. And it could also be that, you know, age as well. Like the more you live, you see things happening in your surroundings, your view expands, and the more people you meet, they also impact you in that way. So I don't necessarily think that women change. I just think our mindset, you know, expands, and depending on what the person is, or I mean,
so maybe we interact differently as well.
Yes, and so maybe that's not perceived in a acceptable societal
for them, maybe.
Yeah, for them.
Yeah, and I think that's important, because I think relationships are important.
They are, definitely.
You know, I think they're important perhaps for different reasons too. Why do you think they're important?
I would say relationships in general, not the intimate relationship.
Yeah.
Your friendships are important. The relationships that you have with your family, folks, and the relationship that you have with yourself.
Oh,
now that's the most important one. So they're important because, okay, so I will talk about family, friends, and even your partner.
Yeah.
They provide that support, especially if you're embarking on something as intense, or it can get intense as a PhD. So they would provide that support. So when you're feeling down, when you feel like you want to give up, they'll be there to just say, you know what, continue, push. Like you've got this. You've had it, and you'll have it until you get it.
And we're human beings. Companionship is important.
Exactly. And you know, I mean, what else is there? Otherwise, you're going to end up speaking to a wall or something. That'll drive you crazy. People have
now you are reading too many novels. What are these novels that you are reading?
So I like. Okay, so I don't want to admit this out loud, but I'm going to. So
it's okay. This is a safe space.
So this is a safe space. So I low key like self help.
Okay, but self help is like awesome.
It helps me to, like I said, expand my view, and also maybe understand things about myself that I generally wouldn't be able to, you know, express or, you know, have an idea of. So,
what kind of self-help? Like self-help, how to come getting closer to your chi in your center, or how to speak in public, or what kind of?
So it's more psychological. So,
okay.
You know, dealing with, I don't want to pass trauma, but it's true, dealing with your childhood traumas or psychological issues that you might have had in your childhood. So I like such kind of books, because they don't have the whole instructive, like do this, because you find that with the public, you know, ones where you read that say you're going to be a good public speaker or something like that, and have like lists. I don't like the lists, because I never do them anyways.
You don't like being prescribed to do
something. So
okay, that's interesting, because childhood traumas are very interesting, because we see childhood traumas in other people.
Yes, but not necessarily.
We don't see it. We don't look for childhood traumas in ourselves. Just like, I dated this guy and he would like be upset every time I didn't answer. Like, he must have had abandonment issues when he was a child. But at the end of the day, we're not looking at really what childhood traumas I could have had, and how those are presenting themselves in the relationships I have, or how they come alive, you know, every day.
True.
And for you, I know a childhood trauma for me is that I was bullied.
Oh, same here.
Yeah.
I was also bullied.
I was bullied quite a lot physically.
I'm glad it never got that bad.
No,
I was teased a lot. So.
But being shy, they used to laugh at my teeth. So as soon as I had like the means, that's why I would have changed my teeth. Even if, you know, I got into a point where I was just like, I don't give a damn. But it would be like the first thing I see, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, and I know for me, because my bullying, for example, was you did this or you said this, and it's something that I would have never done.
Yeah.
So try and accuse me of something in a relationship.
It triggers all those memories that you've had as a child.
Just try me. I'm not a confrontational person, but say,
moment,
it seems as if you were ignoring me when. Because for me, it's like, oh yeah, here's someone else again. I'm not defending myself. They're accusing me of. And for you, is there anything like that?
There is, like, you know, like you said, you were teased about your appearances. I was also teased about my appearances, how dark I was.
Yeah,
you know, like I have a big forehead. I'm glad that forehead is not empty, by the way.
I like it.
It has a brain that functions. So they used to call me at school. They used to call me in high school solar system, and I never understood why. So they would explain, like, I was like, okay, I don't understand, because solar system has planets and a sun.
How long ago was this?
Like, that was in high school, in
before
grade,
load shedding.
Before load shedding. So I'm like, guys, explain to me in a way that I can understand. Why am I being called solar system? I'm like, okay, maybe I'm the sun. I don't know. all these planets are orbiting around me. Oh gosh, like, yeah, no, those were the days that I honestly felt like, can high school end? You know?
Why would? But like, how does that affect you today? Do you think it's still there?
It is there, and you know, it shows up sometimes in my work. And you know, now we have a fancy term for it. Back then, I didn't understand it. But, you know, imposter syndrome. You feel like you're occupying spaces where you have no business occupying. So yeah, so it comes out in that sense. So I have to always check myself. You're like, okay, you have done all the work that you needed to do to get to this point. I deserve to be here. So I have to remind myself. But those tapes from back in the day still come through and play in my head when I'm in, let's say we're in a group discussion or I am giving a presentation. You know, you have that fear. And in relationships as well, because if your partner now starts being silent or ghosts you, then you're like, what is wrong with me? So it not always reflects, you know, it comes back to you know, that they're dealing with and they're not sharing at that moment. But yeah, so they do come up in that sense.
Okay, sure. All right, that's very interesting. I need to wipe my tears.
Oh, I'm glad I made you laugh though.
You killed me with that solar system thing. You know, like, I really identify with people who are bullied like me. But that was fun.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I made you laugh. Till to this day, I don't know what solar system was, you know, why they called me solar system, but I guess, like I said, maybe I'm the sun, you know.
Do you find that it was people that you actually liked that were bullying you?
No, it was people who were who were jealous, I would say, because, I mean, I was, not to, you know, toot my own horn, but, like, I was straight A
you were doing the distinction.
Yes, I was, you know, one of the top 10 students in class, like I would say top 3 students in class. So obviously,
so FYI, I wasn't. Just so we're clear, I was not in the top 3, and that's not why I was bullied. But that's fascinating.
So I feel like maybe it was the jealousy that, you know, I think I'm better than everybody. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, I never acted in that way. Yeah.
All right, I really have enjoyed our conversation.
Same
and getting to know you, getting to know what makes you tick. I really like the idea of recording your journal, because I always wanted to record and do a gratitude journal, but the idea of writing something and putting it in a jug and I
tried that. Yeah, at some point, you know, I wasn't consistent with it, so now I'm video journaling. So
I really like that, because at some point you could, you know, depending on where it goes, you could actually have genuine use for it outside of just yourself. You know, because it also monitors your growth, and it could be encouraging for a lot of people. So I really do like that, and I imagine it's a difficult thing to do. Talking to yourself requires you to ask questions of yourself that you may not want to ask yourself, you know. So it is, and I find it very mature And I find it very sobering because you're able to dismantle even what people are doing. You might be able to say, did I do something? Or is it the way that I'm coming across? Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's just them and who they are.
But, I've heard that we attract what we think, or the frequency in which we vibrate. We attract that to ourselves. Maybe that person is a reflection of what's going on inside.
Of course, as soon as you buy a red Mustang, then you start to see red Mustangs everywhere.
That's true.
With that, I think I've had an incredible time learning about fruits, and I hope you have too. I hope it's leading you closer to a comfort when fruits are concerned, but also just so that you know that there's political spaces within fruits. There's science spaces within fruits. It's more than just picking up a fruit and buying it. So thank you so much for joining me again at Let's Talk Science with Tulile Kanyile. Until the next time, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all our social media platforms. Till the next time.